Welcome back. It's the second edition in 2025 of Road Trip Ramblings. I'm Luke Moehle, and we have a very special episode for you today as left-handed starter Ethan Flanagan joins the show. Ethan, thanks for taking the time. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Of course, I'm doing well, doing well. You guys are on the road, which is the premise of this show. We're starting to get in the flow of things. Currently, as we're recording, you guys are in Kannapolis. You actually started yesterday, and let's dive right into your time here in Myrtle Beach. It's been not easy goings because that's the wrong way to say it. Every game is difficult in its own way, but you have carved opposing hitters. You've got a sub 1 ERA and a 0.86 at the moment through four starts. You're 2-0. What's been working for you?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's been a lot of fun kind of coming out here and getting back into the rhythm of things and competing, just kind of being on the same page as my catchers. Defense has been working and obviously offense putting up runs when I'm pitching. So it's just been, yeah, nice to get back out and compete.
Well, here in the month of July, your first start in July, it was the second on the road at Charleston. Nine punch outs. That's a career high for you at the professional level. It was also a team high. It still holds as the most strikeouts for one pitcher this year in a game for the Pelicans. We've seen a couple of eights. That's the first time we've seen nine. So I'm sure you're eyeing 10 at some point this year. But walk me through that outing, what that was like for you.
Yeah, I mean, that outing was a lot of fun. I felt like I had my stuff that outing. There's a lot of fans, kind of adrenaline going, obviously, kind of that 4th of July week. So just went out, try to keep it simple, make one pitch at a time. And stuff was working for me, so yeah, I'll take it.
Did you kind of talk about that stuff? What is your arsenal? Show people what you're throwing.
Yeah, so I have 4 pitch mix, fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. Still kind of developing the slider. I feel like really comfortable with the changeup curveball right now. And just kind of as it is now, coming off injury, it's just sort of fine tuning everything and just getting the feel for everything coming back. So
Awesome. You mentioned a little bit about that environment at Charleston. On the 4th of July here, obviously, you were cheering on the rest of the group, still in arm care and recovery from that start on the second. But what was it like, to have a full ballpark here at Pelicans Ballpark? And, not only was it a full crowd, but it wasn't just a crowd that was waiting for fireworks. It was a crowd that was involved in the game. You guys gave them a back and forth game. You had a 5-0 lead. All of a sudden, you were down 6-5, came back and won it. We saw homers, we saw extra base hits, we saw good pitching. We saw a mix of everything. What was that environment like for you?
yeah, I mean it was great. It's been such an awesome time out here in Myrtle Beach and kind of playing in front of these fans, just on the road, at home. I mean, it's like packed ballparks everywhere. So it's been obviously it's like it's tough coming to the ballpark every single day and having your best energy, but the fans sort of make it easy to sort of bring that. So it was, and that win was really good too, kind of back and forth. So take it. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll kind of work our way backwards on the timeline for your career. So you were a recent addition. You were called up here to Myrtle Beach and made your full season debut in June. So you're part of this second half group that for the Pelicans has been really good. And I'm not sure how much you followed in the first half. I'm sure in talking with the guys, you've kind of found the feel that the Pelicans were really close. They just need something to push them over the edge in that first half. A lot of very close losses. And so now here in the second half, they're finding ways to win. And you've been a part of that on the mound. You've seen a couple of guys step up in different areas. It's kind of been a group contribution. It's not just one guy that's been finding the clutch hit. It's been going on. How fun has it been, in that transition from the complex league to now full season where, the complex league and here both all about development. But here it feels like there's a little bit more behind it, doesn't it?
Oh, 100%. I mean, like what you said, that the team's coming together really well. I mean, offense is producing runs, defense is there making great plays. I think the pitching staff's been very good these past few weeks from what I've seen. Like starters putting up good, keeping us in the ball game every single time, bullpen holding it down. So I think I mean, when you got everything working, it's a lot of fun. So just kind of everyone's sort of building off each other, picking each other up. So it's just kind of keeping that momentum rolling.
Well, for you, it was a little bit of a slower start in terms of beginning your professional career because you played at UCLA and then you had to undergo Tommy John. So you've got the badge of honor, that scar on your arm on the left side. Walk us through just how that came to be, having Tommy John. And for pitchers now, it's so common. And so you have a really good job or a really good chance at, coming back and being everything you were and maybe even better after that surgery. But just because that's the case doesn't mean that's not a hard, long, and grueling process.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a longer process, and the rehab took longer than I expected it to. I thought I would get out in pitching that last season. So I got the surgery in 2023. So I thought I'd get out there last season, but kind of rehab didn't go as well as I hoped. But then fortunate enough to get out here now. So I mean, it's kind of been a battle, but taught me a lot about just kind of staying disciplined with my routine. Finding what works for me on and off the field, and then obviously mentally just sort of sticking with the process. Controlling what I can control and so forth. Yeah.
Great. You mentioned having the surgery in 2023. It was that long recovery, and now obviously all of that hard work paying off with the numbers looking good for you. People are starting to notice. We one of the things we like to do on the social channel is when a guy has a good start, put an edit together of just all the strikeouts back to back to back. And we've had a lot of requests for let's see Ethan Flanagan's strikeout mix there. And so it's been fun to watch people engage with that and you to get that recognition. And we've really enjoyed watching you pitch. But as we continue working our way backwards on the timeline in your career, you had the surgery in 23. That was before the draft, right?
Yeah. So it was, I mean, if I remember, it was like a week or 2 weeks before the draft, kind of not an optimal time, but Cubs gave me an opportunity and obviously I took it and fortunate to be here and fortunate they sort of stuck with me, throughout the process. So
In your collegiate career at UCLA, how did you land on playing for the Bruins, and what was that experience like there for you?
yeah, I mean, it was a great experience and I got recruited early out of high school. Kind of wanted to stay on the West Coast. Obviously, Coach Savage, the pitching coach, head coach at UCLA, recruited me. I thought it was kind of a great fit for me academically and athletically, and plus Savage's track record with developing pitchers, as we know. So thought it was a great fit, and ended up choosing there, and couldn't have been more happy. So yeah.
For you, in terms of coming off of Tommy John going into the draft, was there any expectation that you would be drafted, where you would be drafted, or were you kind of flying blind into the draft night?
I mean, it kind of with the surgery, I knew it didn't really help me as far as like where I would have been hoped to be drafted and stuff. But I mean, at the end of the day, I was just kind of looking for an opportunity. I was confident. I knew what I was capable of doing. So just fortunate. The Cubs, like I said, gave me an opportunity. Um, and yeah, took it, ran with it. So here we are.
We've been talking a little bit about that Fourth of July weekend that was really special. You go back a few years. You got to pitch on Fourth of July with was it Team USA? Did you do something with them?
Yeah, it was the collegiate training camp, like the Stars and Stripes. So yeah, it was actually. I mean, we're in Kannapolis right now. It was in Charlotte, just down the road at the Charlotte Knights Stadium. So I mean, that was an awesome experience too. Just kind of pitching there and like, playing with the best other best players in the country. Just super competitive. Yeah.
You stay connected with any of the guys that were involved in that, or know where they're at now?
I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, a bunch of them are in the big leagues now, so it's like it's kind of cool to see. It makes it just gives me some more confidence. That I'm able to compete against those guys. So, but yeah, I have some friends from there. We're still connected on social medias and all that stuff. So, talk every now and then.
I'll put you on the spot here, and this may be a quick answer for you, or it may be one that you have to think about, and that's okay too. Who do you feel like has been the best hitter you've ever gone to work against? I know choosing one is difficult, but do you have one that sticks out in your mind? Like there was a moment where you stepped onto the mound and this guy's in the box, and you're like, "Wow, I'm about to face this guy." Like,
Yeah, I mean, there's been hitters all throughout. Pac-12. Playing the Pac-12. There's been every team I feel like has kind of a first round talent hitter and stuff. So no, but definitely that USA event. I mean, you look at back at that Fourth of July lineup. I mean, that lineup we faced was like think that lineup now probably has like five or six guys in the big leagues and stuff. So I mean, I'd probably say Cruz. He's with the Nationals now, but I remember facing him, and he's a very big name at the time. So yeah.
love it. You go back even further, and one of the things listed in your college bio on the UCLA website was that you idolized a couple of different big leaguers. Clayton Kershaw, that's a pretty good one, especially being a lefty. Did you get a chance to watch his 3,000th strikeout?
I did. I think it was the night I pitched at Charleston. It might have been. Yeah, I remember turning it on after the game on the bus ride home and seeing it. So yeah,
What
funny.
made you fall in love with Kershaw's game?
I mean, growing up in Southern California, he's with the Dodgers, so kind of a close team. When I'd go watch Dodger games every now and then. Just I feel like similar pitch mix. Big curveball. Um, Slider. I mean, my goal is to get my slider like that, but just kind of yeah. I mean, he's hard not to like. So
For sure. The other name listed on there was Anthony Rizzo. How did that come to be? Because now you're part of the Cubs organization.
yeah, I mean, funny enough, I grew up a Cubs fan. You know, my dad's from Chicago. My grandparents are from Chicago, so kind of grew up like Chicago sports fan. And then I was actually at that 2016 World Series with my dad, so kind of big Cubs fan, like that whole Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, Javier Baez era. So that was part of it. That was fun. Yeah, that was fun to watch. And then obviously Rizzo kind of being left-handed. I was a position player too, like when I was younger. So Anthony Rizzo is kind of one of my favorite players.
He's an easy one to like, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And that Cubs group was a fun one as well. And they're putting together a pretty good season right now. So maybe
Hmm.
something to cheer about for you and your dad. But let's go back to the draft. With you being a Cubs fan, when it was the Cubs that called your name, and then like where were you? Were you with your family? Were you watching, listening? Did you get the call? Like how did you break the news to Pops that okay, I'm gonna go be a Chicago Cub?
Yeah, I mean, I was at home with my parents. It wasn't kind of nothing too crazy going on that day. It's just kind of waiting, hearing from my agents and see what was happening. I had some ideas, kind of who was interested, who was looking at me. And then yeah, when the Cubs found out, I mean, obviously I was just very happy for the opportunity, and it's also kind of a bonus that it was one of my favorite teams growing up. So yeah.
Well, another interesting little fact on you that we've talked about behind closed doors now is you're a citizen of three different countries. Where are you a citizen of, and why?
Yeah, so I mean that's all credit to my mom. My mom was born in New Zealand. So the three citizenships are New Zealand, Switzerland, and the United States. And like I said, credit to my mom. She was born in New Zealand. Then moved over to Switzerland and then lived there for some time. So I kind of born into it with but it's cool, as when I was younger I got to travel a bunch. Obviously it's a bit tougher now with baseball being more serious and not a lot of time and stuff just with training. But yeah, like I've got to travel a bunch. I have family in both countries, so yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, that was super interesting. I don't know if I filled you in on the full story, but Larry Larson, who is the broadcaster in Charleston, you were making that
Hmm.
and you texted me in the middle of the game and goes, "What's the story behind on the game notes? It lists that you're a citizen of three countries, but there's no context there. That's the only
Yeah.
thing." I said, that's the only
The-
thing I know. I still need to talk to him because you had been added to the roster, and it's like I'm not going to bug you on your start day, obviously, and then you guys were back on the road. And so it's like next time he's back in the ballpark, I'm gonna have to grab him and ask for the story behind that one.
yeah, that's my go-to. Like tell us one fact about yourself. So that's my special fact. So.
That's awesome. Well, you just look overall at the body of work. Obviously, you put together a really good year, and we don't want to take up too much of your time. We've kind of worked backwards. You talked about how you chose UCLA. Talk to me about high school. You won a state championship.
Yeah, I mean, that was that those high school days were some of the best time of my life. All those group of guys. I'm still really close to them today. That was in 2019. Yeah, we won the CIF championship at Dodger Stadium. Under Coach Chris Malik was my high school coach at the time. So, um, I mean, yeah, I didn't pitch much in high school. Kind of more position player. And I remember that CIF run, the when we won that championship, I was the designated hitter. Funny enough, kind of hit all 4 years of high school. It was, I mean, like I said, it's a great time. Some of the most fun I've had playing baseball.
How did you make that transition from a hitter into primarily a pitcher? You mentioned you weren't pitching a ton at that moment. At what time were you like, okay, I could do something as a southpaw now?
I mean, I pitched. I knew I pitched and stuff. Just kind of had some like previous history of arm injury stuff, so kind of kept me away from the mound at times. But yeah, I was always thought I was a pretty good hitter and stuff. I wanted to hit in college a little bit, but obviously like went the route of pitching, which I'm very fortunate it worked out. But yeah, I mean it's something I still kind of wish I could do, and every now and then I want to go take some swings. So yeah,
Do you feel like that background as a hitter helps you, in how you're attacking any given guy at the plate?
I mean I don't know if I could say so. It helps me. I didn't really have like such a great approach back then, I'd say, but just it just gives you an appreciation for how hard it is to hit. But yeah, it's just all part of it. It all helps. Like I look at it, it's just staying athletic, doing multiple things. It's like playing a different position when you're younger. It's like the more you can continue to do various things, it's all going to help in the long term.
Love it. We're going to go back to the very, very beginning of how you got your introduction to baseball. What is your earliest baseball memory, whether it was, grabbing a wiffle ball bat in the yard, playing catch with dad, just watching a game on TV? When did you fall in love with the game?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be when I was 4 or 5 years old. Just and obviously my dad introduced me to it, and kind of been going ever since. So yeah.
Seems like something that has kind of worked out for you. I know that if you continue pitching this way, you're going to club up or climb up the ranks rather in the Cubs organization pretty quickly. So we've really enjoyed having you in Myrtle Beach. Would love for you to stay, but it's a good thing if you're working your way up the ranks. So you keep throwing the ball like you have been, and I have a feeling that's going to happen sooner rather than later. But let's wrap this thing up with a few rapid fire questions. We'll ask all the guys. There's one that we're going to have to cheat on a little bit, but we'll mention it when we get there. First things first, do you have any game day superstitions?
No, no, I mean, not superstitious. Try not to be.
Just the
It's
routine.
just a routine, Just that's all I try to keep it.
Love it. Cheat day go-to food.
Probably good pizza.
Pizza? Do you have a favorite kind of pizza or a pizza take, like pineapple
New
style pizza?
New York style. I was in Arizona for some time, so I just kind of in the rehab setting. So I put together a good guide of food places there, and there's some good pizza places there.
Love it. Favorite food in Myrtle Beach? I know you probably haven't been able to check too much out in a short period.
Oh yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out. I mean, I pitched there at home once, and the other three starts have been on the road so far. So I've barely been there, but I haven't had much time to go out. But I know Cookout's a popular like late night spot
Yep,
there. And
yep.
that's a Carolina thing. I don't think they don't have that back in California.
Love it. Love it. All right. This one's the one we have to cheat a little bit on. So the question usually is favorite road trip so far in the Carolina League. Well, you have made what, two now? Is it Columbia? Yeah, you were home Fayetteville, right? And then
Fayetteville, Columbia, Charleston, and then here,
and
Kannapolis.
so you're still early in the time there. So we won't make you answer that. You can choose one of those three, but what's been the favorite spot, whether in college and in high school, that you've gone and played baseball? What's the coolest place you've been?
I mean, I'll start here. I mean, here I gotta say it's probably Charleston. Just the pack. I mean, kind of the stadium similar to Myrtle Beach. They packed out the stadium. Obviously, I pitched good there, so that kind of leads into it. To Charleston for that, and then looking at college, I mean, we played at some cool places. I'd say played at Minute Maid Park my freshman year at the Astros place. I mean, that was a like a unbelievable experience playing in a big league ballpark like that. Yeah.
Was that like Shriners Classic or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I mean, we played Oklahoma there, Texas. I think there are other teams there I think LSU was there. I don't know if we played them then, but yeah.
Always fun to play in a big league park.
Yeah, always,
The
always, always
ultimate goal is
fun.
every day being at the big league park, and you
Yeah.
like your way there. Road trip. You hop on the bus to head out on whatever length this road trip is. What are you doing? Are you working on something? Do you have a podcast you listen to? Music? Sleeping? Is
Oh,
there
I'm
a
just I'm
mafia
just watching
going?
show I'm just watching shows. There'll be some mafia. We'll play some mafia on the way home, usually after the road trip. But on the way here, it's kind of just everyone's sort of listening to music, doing their own thing. I've been watching shows and stuff. That's really been it.
What's your go-to show?
I recently, most recent, I finished the new Squid Game series.
Sweet.
I know the season 3 came out, so I finished that.
I just did as well, so I thought it was pretty solid. I thought
Yeah, it was good. It was intense.
for sure, for sure. If you weren't working in baseball, this is the last one. What job would you be working?
I don't know. I mean, I'm probably something with sports. I feel like maybe something to do with traveling. I like to travel. That's kind of a passion of mine. It's something I'd love to do in the off season. So something to do with that.
Awesome. Well, Ethan, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the trip. Is there anything else that you feel like you want to add?
No, I mean it's just been a lot of fun out in Myrtle, and I'm happy to be out here, and it's been a great second half so far. So keep it rolling.
Love it. For Ethan Flanagan, I'm Luke Moehle saying thanks for hanging out with us here on episode 2 in 2025 of Road Trip Ramblings. We hope to catch you next time. And as always, go Birds.